Hi, I'm Nelson, and this is the Sir Nelson English School. In this school, we help you to improve your reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills. We also help you to pass the IELTS test. In this particular video, we are going to focus on direct speech and indirect speech. How do you change sentences from the direct speech and indirect speech? We shall begin with number 1, 2, 3. The technique is to look at the first word. If it is a WH word, that is a question. And a question, the reporting verb is asked. Always used asked as the reporting verb if the sentence begins with a WH. If a sentence begins with a helping verb, that is also a question. We have two types of questions. Questions that begin with WH and questions that begin with helping verb. The word is number 2. That is a helping verb. Now, if a sentence begins with a WH word, you must put the WH word in the indirect speech. For example, why is he? Sarah asked Ali why. Number 2, is he? Sarah asked Ali if. We use if only when the question begins with a helping verb. Number 3, what are they? The question begins with WH. So we have to put the WH word in the indirect speech. What? The WH must appear. If there is a helping verb beginning the sentence, we use the word if. Why is he driving? Now let us see the complete sentence. Remember, indirect speech, we must put the reporting verb. Why is he driving? Sarah asked Ali why he was driving. Remember, direct speech, the helping verb comes before the subject. Indirect speech, the helping verb comes after the subject. The subject is he. Is he? He was. Remember, the present changes to the past. This is why is changing to was. Always remember, direct speech, the helping verb comes before the subject. Indirect speech, the helping verb comes after the subject and you change it to the past. Number 2, is he driving? We have is he. The question begins with a helping verb. So we have to use the word if. And remember, after if, the helping verb comes after the subject. If he was. Don't say if was he. Is he? He was. Is he? He was. The present changes to the past. Number 3, what are they? WH. What? Are they? They were. The helping verb is were. Where comes after they. Don't say what were they in indirect speech. Indirect speech, the helping verb comes after the subject. They were, are they. Are they is direct speech. Number 4, are they? The sentence begins with a helping verb. So we have to use the word if. When, WH. Do they? Do is a helping verb. So also we have to use the word if. Are they driving? Are they? They were. Remember, direct speech, the helping verb comes before. Sentences, if a helping verb comes first, then that is the question and the reporting verb is asked. When do they drive? Now be careful with this. Do, if you see do in a direct speech, indirect speech, go to the main verb and change it to the past simple. Drive changes to drove. The present simple changes to the past simple. Do they drive? Do is a helping verb. If a sentence or a question begins with a helping verb, that is a question. The helping verb, the reporting verb is asked. Do they? So we use if. Do, change the verb to the past. The past simple of drive is drove. Why does he? Does and do operate in the same way. Sarah asked Ali why. Now we have a new sentence, let us. In English, those are suggestions. Sentences that begin with letters are suggestions. So the reporting verb is suggested. Sarah suggested. I want you to see this time I'm not putting the name Ali. Please. Sentences in English that begin with because, with please, are requests. The reporting verb is requested. Please, Sarah requested Ali. Complete sentence. Why does he drive? Because of does, the main verb changes to the past simple. Drive becomes drove. We don't put does or do in indirect speech. We don't have those. Let us drive. Let us, that is a suggestion. The reporting verb is suggested. Sarah suggested driving. Be careful. After suggested, we add ing to the verb. Please drive. That is a request. The reporting verb requested Ali to drive. Requested is followed by to drive. Don't. If a sentence begins with don't, the reporting verb is advise. Sarah advised Ali. Let us, that is a suggestion. Please, that is a request. Don't drive. Sorry, there is no question mark. Sarah advised Ali not to drive. This is not a question. Let us eat. Sarah suggested eating. Please teach. Sarah requested Ali to teach. I teach English. We have number 13 and number 14. I teach English, teach English. If a sentence begins with a noun or a pronoun, we use the word that. If a sentence begins with a verb, we use to plus infinitive in indirect speech. Changing questions to indirect speech. Does and do. Remember to change the verb to the past simple and use the word if does and do begin a sentence. Did, on the other hand, did, the verb, the main verb changes to the past participle. The past participle of go is gone. Because of gone, did changes to had. We don't have did in indirect speech in this case, because did is acting as a helping verb. I want you to look at the examples, do, did, and does. See the changes that I have made and learn how to change do, does, did questions to indirect speech. Follow my example and you try this exercise in your book. This will give you some practice for indirect speech, especially do, did, and does. Now let us go to changing questions, other helping verbs. English has many helping verbs. It is not only does, do, and did. We have others like is, was, will, can, etc. Why is he? Sarah asked Ali why he was. Remember, direct speech is he before the subject, the helping verb before. Indirect speech, it is after the subject, why he was. Is he? Because of is, we use if. We do the same thing here. Why was he? The helping verb comes before the subject is he. Now, was and were change to had been, because the past continuous changes to past perfect continuous. Was he? If he had been. If he had been. Why were they? Why they had been. You try number 4. Change these sentences to indirect speech. Follow the models that I've given you. Change these sentences to the indirect speech. Follow the models or the examples that I've given.